I love sharing quick strategies like this with other artists so that you can learn how to make more money with your artwork, especially cartoonists. So this is the story about how I made a quick $100 in just a little under an hour on LinkedIn. And I think this is something that you could also turn into a full-blown service for your art business. This could actually spiral out of control. Here's how it happened. So this was my day off, and I was just sitting and relaxing and listening to a podcast that I enjoy about content strategy and marketing. Now, I'm a complete nerd when it comes to content strategy and marketing and talking about this stuff all day long. It's one of my personal pillars. More on that in a second. The hosts of this particular podcast are building out this cool framework, and it has multiple layers of the concept. I happened to have my iPad in my hand. I was drawing, listening to this podcast, and I decided to take some notes as the host was describing this framework. And when I got through with my sketch notes, they looked pretty cool. And I think this is one of your superpowers as an artist. Your visuals that you're going to put to something like this is going to make it more memorable and easier to recall. I think they say something like 80% of people recall and retain more information when it has a cool visual like a cartoon. Good news for cartoonists. And this is why I like working in this method anyways, as I'm retaining the information for myself. What do you think of this idea so far? Do you like it? Well, then make sure you like this video so you can tell YouTube to send it to more people just like you. I'm already a fan of these guys, so I just posted my art on LinkedIn to them, and I tagged them, and I just said, hey, I'm really enjoying your podcast, and I tagged the authors. And very soon after that, I got a comment and a DM from the host asking, would you mind drawing the first part of the podcast, because it's essential for this concept that's drawn out first, and we'll pay you for it. Basically, name your price. In this case, I didn't really set out to sell anything initially. It was a topic that I totally enjoy and was being really authentically involved with. And I secretly just kind of want to be their friend. But I also have a rule as a professional cartoonist that if someone offers to pay you, you take it and you send your rates. So for those two relatively loose pencil sketches that took me under an hour, I made about $100. My rate is about $100, give or take an hour. Now, that's how I accidentally made money at this, but I realized very quickly that this could just spiral into a world of referral business, which, depending on how busy you want to be, could be a very good problem to have. Now, there's comments in his post that mention the art, he tags me, and then I get more people DMing me and asking me if I'm available for work. Something like this could really snowball for you, but here's the real secret. Before you run off and just start making sketch notes for random strangers, you need to understand why this actually worked. Remember when I said before that I was listening to this podcast in the first place because it was one of my pillars. It's something that I actually enjoy doing and thinking about. In this case, it's kind of the B2B marketing, storytelling, content strategy. I just eat that stuff up. And so obviously that vibe that I have on this topic that I really like shows through in my artwork and connects with them on another level because it's part of their pillars too. They know that I'm not faking. Do you see what I mean? You might be able to pull this off on some topic that you're not familiar with, but I wouldn't do this on like a podcast about basketball or sports or something that I'm not into. You could make it work, but that could be a hard sell. So my advice is definitely try this on topics that you're really into. Here's a quick strategy. This is just something that I would do if I was looking to turn this into an actual revenue stream for my art business right now. I can almost guarantee that this would work. Number one, the topic, you have to be vibing with it. It should be one of your pillars or something that you're really interested in before you even pick up a pencil. Find the podcast, YouTube channels, or thought leaders that are already making content about this topic. You're probably already consuming it. Draw something up in this vein, maybe it's a concept they have or some quotes from their show, and then surprise and delight the host. Email it, post it on LinkedIn, tag them, and just say how much you enjoyed that episode and why. You really want to start a conversation and see where it goes. And in your back pocket, make sure you always have your rates handy. Now, this might go a few different ways. Best case scenario, and this is what happened to me here, they just straight up ask you to draw more for them. You give them your rates, set up the deal. Scenario number 2 is they just say, oh, thanks for the fan art. But give them some time to think about it and mull it over and look at their comments. Then maybe a day or so later, just hit them with your rate sheet. Say if they ever need anything custom, look you up, or refer you to someone else if they need it. Scenario number 3 is fun because they're going to start coming to you. They've seen your posts, they've seen the referrals, they've talked about you in comments. Make sure you're able to accept the messages or make your contact information clearly visible. Believe me, if you do this once or twice and it looks pretty neat, the other people that are vibing on this topic, they're going to want to be dialed in and get a piece of this action too. People look to them for their podcasts and their content, and they just kind of copy what those people do. And now they want to have a cool sketch for their show or their podcast or their YouTube channel, whatever it might be. The bonus here for me is this was actually pretty fun, and I just couldn't stop thinking about the concept of these sketch notes, to the point where I actually made a new channel trailer for this channel based on my own mission statement for Draw or Die. You should check that out. Oh, and bonus number 2 is, since I work in Procreate, the best drawing app for iPad. So every drawing in Procreate comes with a time-lapse built in. So I was also able to send those time-lapse videos to these guys. You could easily charge this as like an upsell for a service like this, or even something like caricatures or likeness drawings. If you think that's a pretty cool idea, like the video and let YouTube know. At this point, you might be like, that's cool, but I don't even know what my pillars are, and I don't even know what to charge. Well, I made videos about those too, and they should be right here on the screen. Go watch those, try out this method, and then let me know how it works for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you soon.